Well, it didn't start very well, but boy, did it end well. It was an ugly beginning, and it looked like it was going to be one of those trips where we just kind of throw it out and say they were thinking about vacation. But in the end, a demolition as the Stars just pummel the San Jose Sharks tonight. They put up 8. A snowman. I like that line from Josh tonight. He said they've built a snowman in San Jose, which probably doesn't happen very often. 8-3 win. This is the DLS Dallas Stars postgame show. We have already checked out and thinking about the snow up in Wisconsin, Craig Ludwig, although we have the very gullible Sam Nestler to my other side, who Mr. Toilet himself, the Roto-Rooter. Luddy, we're right about to start the show, and you said you've already got your sled gassed and you're thinking about it. And Sam goes, wait, are you going up there? We literally have a show on Monday. You have a hockey tournament to go to. Oh, geez.
I'll be
thinking that far ahead.
Closest I'll be is Blaine, Minnesota to Wisconsin, so that's about 5 hours away.
Can you get your sled shipped in for the time off?
I know people.
You're thinking about it, aren't you? Yeah, I love it. I want Luds to, during our first ad break, to get a marker and just write gullible on a wall and point it at Sam and see what he does. I just don't know.
He's a poster child for
it. Isn't he? I love it. All right. We're going to have some fun tonight because John is back. As you can hear, the toilet bowl sounds have already come in force. Yeah, look, it's going to be, there's Jordan like that one, Sam, the Roto-Rooter. This chat, Sam, I apologize in advance. The chat is going to go off on you. I'm probably going to encourage them and egg them on, and we're just going to have to live with it.
Couldn't care less.
I know. Well, I'm just telling you in ahead of time. I'm sorry.
Boys.
But yeah, get ready. All right, let's talk about this one, guys, before we really get silly. Luddy, was this as ugly to you as it was to me? I mean, the first 2 shots on net went in, and it felt like defense wasn't even optional. It was non-existent for the Stars.
Yeah, the very first one, CC looked like he was already had half a leg up on the runway on the plane to Hawaii. He's kind of coasting back and looking around, and so that's why I said you don't want to say those kind of things prior to a hockey game, your last game or not, where you're going, what you're doing, because now all of a sudden coaches and everybody they're thinking, well, these guys aren't dialed in quite yet, but they showed that they were later on, but they weren't early.
And so they get 2 quick goals, one from William Eklund, who scored at the top of the crease from Celebrini. Again, nobody thought they'd maybe defend the front of their net where the danger is. And then Zetterlund scores on a rebound from a Will Smith shot that went wide. It actually looked like more of a pass than a shot, even though Smith was in a grade A position. He flubbed it. Zetterlund basically caught the shot and then stuffed it into an open net with nobody guarding him either. And in between that, Evgeny Dodonov took out a linesman, which had it been intentional, he would have gotten a player safety hearing out of it. Right, Sam?
That's right. There was some fun rules that I was looking up. If you want to go check those out in the article, I didn't know that everyone in my DLS and brainiacs already knew that, but I was pretty surprised to learn these things.
Boy, Luds, did we not just dunk on Sam in that group text and completely spoil his fun?
I still haven't read the whole thing. I get
it's Cliff Notes. It's like 4 paragraphs.
I don't even read a paragraph at a time.
He copied and pasted chunks of his game article he was writing into the group text. And I looked
really excited.
Scroll. What is this?
I was so excited.
And as soon as I saw it, I went, there's no way Luds is even trying to read this, let alone actually reading it. Do you want to give us the crux of what you were saying quickly, or do you want to just tease your article?
No, you guys read it. I'm just going to get made fun of by if I say it out loud. So
no, it's not. Because listen.
Fewest words I can say tonight possible, right?
You need to be okay with being the punching bag that you are, because there are other viewers and listeners that don't know this either. So you can play the Mr. Bean character or the Columbo, but you'll actually discover some things at time.
Yes, I was excited to learn that we knew that when a linesman or referee goes down, that they go with three officials, and they do the two linesmen, 1 referee. But I learned that if they are ever not able to get to a game, that they can ask players injured or scratched players to be the officials in a game, and it's happened. What was it, 1983? I think it was. In a Hartford Whalers versus New Jersey Devils game, there was a snowstorm that kept two of the officials from getting there on time, and they asked one player from each team that was scratched to throw on some sweatpants and a black practice jersey and go out there and referee the game and officiate the game. The referees got there after 20 minutes, but I just thought that was absolutely bizarre. Could you imagine if you're sitting on the bench or even as a healthy scratch and you're chilling there drinking a water for watching the game, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, by the way, you're gonna have to be a linesman for tonight's game. I just thought that was crazy.
I think there was a former partner of mine in Montreal, Mickey Vulcan, that may have done that at one point or did something like that.
No
Came
way.
up with a referee. Yeah, he might even been in that game, because I think he got traded to one of them teams right when I got there.
The rule was probably made back before guys were drinking water as healthy scratches.
Yes,
right?
fair.
Because
Good
they
point.
probably either didn't want to or didn't feel they had the proper sanitation for water like they do today for it to be healthy and bacteria free. But I'll tell you what, that rule that's about having the teams basically each assign a player, that's from a long, long time ago.
Yeah, Luds, what did you say his name was?
Mickey Vulcan.
That's one of them.
Yeah, was it?
It was
Yeah.
Mickey Vulcan and Gary Howitt that were the two.
Mickey was one of them meatheads that during when you went out for warm up, he would actually grab the glass and do pull-ups during warm up.
That's
because
awesome.
why not, right?
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank Matt Duchene for tonight's result, because without him, I think they could have had their doors blown off. Although that's probably giving San Jose a little too much credit, because they are just not a very good hockey team. Duchene answered back the Fabian Zetterlund goal 16 seconds later, and it was a changeup. Now, there was a deflection, but whoever said it was a bad shot on goal, that one deflects. It floats in on Vanacek, who is completely thrown off by the change of speeds. And Duchene, who's not going to go quietly on this one, really kind of turned things around for the Stars.
Yeah, good things happen when you throw pucks to the net. I actually think that he was trying to go back against the grain a little bit with it. There was somebody in front of him, and he kind of pulled it back to his forehand, and I think he just tossed it at the net, and very fortunate. But it was a sign of things to come.
Top corner.
Yeah.
Little flutter, but right into the top corner.
My younger son, who's 12, and he's in his last year of 12U hockey, had a game this afternoon, and they beat a Frisco team in the Dallas Stars Metro Hockey League 1-0 on a goal on their first shot. It was a laser from like the blue line. I say a laser. It was a hard shot, but it kind of went up, and then it dropped under the crossbar from about 50, 60 feet. This was kind of like that from about half the distance. Yeah, the other team's goalie was really good, but it doesn't matter about that. I'll tell you what, the Stars power play didn't look great, although Jason Robertson had a nice shot off the post right away to start. It could have made it 2-2. Then right after the power play expired, Stankoven had a one-timer in the slot from Jamie Benn. Vitek Vanacek didn't have a lot of help tonight. He made a good save on that one. But then Jason Robertson scored on the rebound. Long Matt Dumba shot. Did you guys get a good look at this replay? Because it looked like the puck dipped a little bit right before it got to the pad. I don't know if Vanacek tracked it well, but he gave up a really juicy rebound for Robertson to just tap it home.
I don't think Vanacek tracked a whole lot very well tonight. But that was a weird. I do give a full shout out for everyone that said I hated Matt Dumba, which couldn't be further from the truth. He has been. These are probably the two best games he's played all season. He's got assists in 2 straight games. He had a really good defensive play on that 2-on-1. I think it's nothing, whether it's because he ends up getting traded or whether it's because he finds a role here, it's a good thing for the Stars with Matt Dumba steps up, and that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, he stepped up a couple other times tonight too and got beat back to the net.
I'm trying to be positive here.
All right, you can be positive. I'll take the other road.
Picking his battles and maybe losing them in the process. But Stars took their first lead, and they would never relinquish it as Mason Marshman scored on. Luddy, you did a lot of games with Razor in the broadcast booth. Razor loves the description of a cram play. I always felt like that sounded a little vulgar, but he scored at the right post. Really strong play to win the puck off a reversal to begin with, and then just powered it near post. That's probably one of those times where Vanacek should have used the reverse VH or some sort of post ceiling to try to deny that goal.
Yeah, I didn't feel it as much as a cram. I thought it was more of a chop. It looked
Did
like
you?
it kind of looked like he took a whack at it, and somehow it just sneaks in there. But yeah, the old reversal hit, and I'm surprised. It's not the first time Marchman's done this, and you know how you know things about players around the league. You kind of know their tendencies. If you don't, you really need to know their tendencies. So, he's good at it, and the timing has always got to be right. But it's an effective play. We've seen it called as a penalty at times, but
it's technically interference, right?
Yeah, it's that gray area. Sometimes I'm like, wait a second. I think I watched the game a couple nights ago. That same hit was a penalty.
Yeah.
So you get away with it.
Ooh.
What was that, Sam?
I almost just kicked over the tripod. I'm on the phone. You guys like the camera quality now? Is that good enough for you? Do I need an iPhone 16?
If you were still in the bathroom like last night, you would have knocked your laptop into the sink. All right. So second period, Stars up 3-2. San Jose had a ton of scoring chances early on. I don't know if they were all high danger, but they had a lot of the puck and they had a lot of shots early. And it felt like the Stars were kind of, I don't know if I would use the word coasting, but they definitely sitting back a little bit or getting pushed back. And then they get a power play. And Oscar Beck, before the power play, pulled off something I don't think I've ever seen, which is a player blocking his own scoring chance in the crease with a wide open goal. And he did it in one fluid motion that I'm not sure he could replicate if he tried.
No, that's
hilarious.
Tough. It's tough to have a puck sit on your backhand, flip over the top, and then stop it on the forehand as you're coming back. So I had to watch it like 3 different times to actually see what happened.
I cannot wait to ask him about that in New Jersey after this break. I'm so excited to have that conversation.
It'll be crazy. Well, they fortunately scored on a face-off win. Duchene won the draw on the power play. Harley took the shot. Duchene tipped it in. Second goal of the night. 4th goal in his last 2 games. This is exactly what they needed. And Luddy, this goes back to our pregame show conversation about getting one of his running buddies, Mason Marchment, back in the lineup.
Yeah, I just think he gets excited because of the success the 3 of them had, and he gets one of them back. And I looked at that shot a couple different times, and that I think for a forward or anybody tipping a puck, because what happened is when Harley took the shot, it was flat on his stick. And when he threw it to the net, it's kind of waffling a little bit. And I think it's a little bit easier to get one little piece of it versus a rocket that's, coming at you like a little disc. So you got enough of it to get it to go down and bounce through him again.
Maverick Bourque would score later in the period as he picked a corner. I think it was low blocker from the right circle. He's starting to heat up. And speaking of heating up is the chat, because Russell just said, don't say blowout in front of Sam. Oh, it's going to be a fun night here on the Stars After Dark postgame show. There goes another flush. Oh, is that 3 already to start this one? Luds, it was
I can't hear him, so it's perfect.
Perfect. It was a 5-2 Stars lead after 2 periods of play. I thought San Jose had a pretty big advantage in scoring chances in the second period, but they, showing maybe a little bit of the quality of their team, they didn't get really interior on the Stars and on DeSmith that much in the second period.
Yeah, they're just, they're limited. They're taking a knife to a gunfight a lot of nights. So, they've got to be able to get some ugly goals, and they got to bring numbers, and they got to get rebounds, and they got to get another rebound, and they get some fortune in there too. So it's one of those kind of seasons. If you're on that team, yeah, I'm sure it's a struggle, from night to night to kind of work hard and do some of the good things and not get rewarded for it often enough.
Yeah, Ardell, I am indeed giggling at the chat. I shouldn't be reading it while we do this because it's just making me smile, but we're doing it. And lots more of that, more recap, and then the super chat on the way right here on the DLS Dallas Stars post-game show. Sam, get ready. You're up.
Get ready, boys. Let's talk about Ice Shaker for the first time for Sammy, baby. I've got the perfect gift for the passionate sports fans in your life. Perhaps you heard of Ice Shaker. Ice Shaker is now officially licensed with the NFL, NHL, NBA, NCAA, and MLB and will make the ideal gift. Created and used by the Gronkowski brothers, Ice Shakers has sold over. They're Gronkowski brothers?
Oh, yes.
I don't know if I knew that. Ice Shakers
Multiple
has sold
brothers.
over. I just assumed Bloods was always talking about the other brother. Kelsey
Focus.
brothers. They have changed the game with workout bottles, and this is the bottle you've been looking for. Go to iceshaker.com and make sure you use the code ALLCITY25 at checkout. Kitchen grade stainless steel bottles that will not absorb the odor like the plastic bottles do. They don't have that obnoxious metal ball, patented twist and an agitator that breaks up powders, but is silent when you shake it. Order your team branded bottles today at iceshaker.com and use the code ALLCITY25 for 25% off your order. Ice Shakers, show your support for your teams with the best branded workout bottles on the market. Ice Shakers. It's an interesting one.
Oh
The
my God,
enthusiasm is just killing me, Sam.
Off
There's an
the
exclamation point. I don't know. Ice Shakers.
Let's talk about Game Time. Game Time is the best platform to use to find tickets for sporting events, concerts, theater shows, comedy, you name it. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Super Bowl's tomorrow, maybe last minute. You can use Game Time to get yourself a ticket to go to New Orleans. Producer John was just there for the whole week. I'm sure you could find at least the best value for a very high-priced event. Plus, you can look at seat views, on-time delivery, lowest price guaranteed. It is a fantastic app. Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account and use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem the code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right. Let's get back in here as we have all sorts of people asking for drops. And of course, John is right. John said, I have too many drops. Don't expect the other producers to know what they are, when to use them, where they are found, because we have spent from August through into February perfecting these inside jokes on the show.
Sometimes John doesn't even know where they are.
Yes. Well, that's more of a technical side of the equipment he has to use. He knows what drops he has. But yes, nonetheless, oh my goodness, everybody's going after Sam here. Look at Ardell. Sam's leavings may clog pipes, but also smell like roses. The man is an artist.
I never clog pipes. I have a bidet. My pipes are clean, boys.
All right, let's talk about the third period here. The Stars up 5-2. Amazingly, on a 2-on-1, Rope Hintz could not score on a really nice setup pass by Jason Robertson. Vanacek made a save there. They went back and forth for a while, and then all of a sudden, we had a goal explosion. Sorry, Sam.
Nice.
And about the halfway point of the third period, as they scored a combined 4 goals in 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And it started with Wyatt Johnston scoring on a redirection from Oscar Beck. And I'm going to go to Luddy here on this one first. Luds, the awareness for Beck to get that off the wall and to the slot quickly was really heads up. And then the finish by Johnston in his billet father's old stomping grounds wasn't lost on anybody.
You know how many times they probably did that out in the garage in the driveway and worked on getting that puck elevated the way Wyatt did on that shot. I mean, if everybody isn't thinking of Joe Pavelski, as soon as that puck went in the net, speaking of drops, apparently we've dropped that one. I immediately, there we go. A little delayed.
This is how you caught me, Ludge.
Yeah, but you know what?
Go.
You're right.
Just like that.
About Beck. And again, that's a direct result of knowing what you're going to do with the puck or knowing what's available even before you get to it. Then you're having your head on a swivel, you get to the puck, and immediately, as soon as it's hits your stick, you know exactly what you're going to do with it.
Luddy, you're not the only one. It's white guy It's an interesting name for a chat. Says, where was the ding, in all caps? He was ready for it. Luddy was ready for it. We caught John. But John's had a long week. There's the chat right there. So at that point, Johnston makes it 6-2. Shortly thereafter, Thomas Harley makes it 7-2. Short side high, picking one on Vanacek. We heard Razor say in the broadcast, an NHL goalie probably shouldn't get beat on a shot like that. But Sam, pretty good shot.
Yeah, I think Razor said it perfectly. He picked the window that he had, but it shouldn't be. I think Vanacek's kind of going down when he shouldn't be. That should be a shot that hits you in the shoulder standing up, probably from where he released it. But man, that picking that corner, he's not even on the inside of the circle either. He's almost all the way on the edge of the circle when he shoots that, and picking that corner, that's a really good shot. I think he's got 9 goals now, picking it up in the goal scoring, which they need big time. And I wish I had that sleeper pick again tonight, get another 6.5 payout.
The Sharks got one back to halt a 7 straight goal run by the Stars. Remember, Dallas was down 2-0 in the first period and then scored the next 7 in a row until Walker Dewar went to the net and scored on a rebound. This one looked a lot like the first 2 goals. Defense optional.
Yeah, it seems to me somebody stepped up and missed a hit here on this one too. I don't know who it would be, but Sam seems to bring it up quite a bit. He's tracking all this, by the way. Sam, didn't you have a comment about the first goal tonight too? Wasn't it? Didn't you make a comment about somebody wasn't good pairing?
Oh, yes, you sure did.
Yeah. I said Harley and Cece haven't looked very good together. I stand by that. I don't. They looked a little lost at times. I'm not saying that's because of the players. That could be because they've only played together for 3 games. But I don't think they've looked super cohesive together in that first goal. I mean, that doesn't help that you get scored on in the first minute and a half / 11 seconds of 2 games in a row.
Hey, I think it's worth saying though, like, yeah, maybe the goaltender didn't play Harley's shot right, but that was a rocket. I mean, that was a missile that he sent up there, and I think he knew exactly where he was trying to go with it. You know, he's got some confidence when he gets below the tops of the circles, but we've been kind of preaching that, I think, for quite a while around here.
Did you see Lutz? Did you see his reaction after he was like looking for the rebound? He was, Scott, that couldn't have gone in. Where is it? It's somewhere over here.
Well, the Harley goal, Dewar goal were 27 seconds apart. And then 37 seconds later, Jamie Benn gets a breakaway from Lian Bichsel's long pass, walks in. Thank you very much. 397. Jamie Benn, the Stars captain, is now 3 goals away from 400 career goals. That is a very big accomplishment. And Luds, we have to talk about it, and his teammates do, because Jamie sure as heck isn't going to do it.
Yeah, he makes it look easy, doesn't he? I've just felt that, I think there's 12 guys that are going on that Hawaii trip with CC. I think somebody said something like that. I think the 11 all sent him a text message after the second period, said, we'll meet you at the plane. We're heading there now.
They were, I mean, there was no one. Ben was slowly skating in on that breakaway. There was no one within 15 feet of him. And I thought it was hilarious that he scored and just immediately skated right over to the bench. And sat down.
Yeah.
Everyone had to come celebrate with him. It was so funny.
He felt bad.
Early in the chat tonight, I have to go way back here to find it. And John will probably be trying to find it too. And I don't know if we will. Somebody, guys, got upset with Matt Dumba's shot late in the game. Remember, he stepped in and took a one-timer in the high slot, and I thought it might have hit the goalie, but they said it went wide according to the stat sheet. So I'm going to skim this really quickly to see if I can see this. Here it is. Jeff Carrier. I'm surprised and disappointed that Dumba blasted a one-timer from the ladies' tees with like minutes to go in an 8-3 game. That's just not something you should do. Wrist shot, sure. 95-mile-an-hour one-timer, no. Luddy, you're the expert here.
Rule.
What's that?
It sounds like a men's league rule.
That's what I was going to say. In beer league, where you have to go to work the next day and you're not getting paid, you're paying to play. You don't need to take a clapper from the hash marks with a guy that's, in a place where he might cut off his ankle. But in the NHL, you can't give anybody a hard time for, say, trying to score a goal.
Yeah, I think he's making about $3 million, and he doesn't have any yet. So give him a
He
little
needs
bit.
one, right?
Yeah, he felt it. He's got 2 assists in 2 straight games. He was like, "This is my night." Putting up
Yeah.
number 9.
Trust me, those goose eggs don't look well on the stat sheet. Ask me, I know.
And speaking of which, how about in the closing seconds? I think there was about 20, 22 seconds to go. Logan Stankoven trying to catch Vitek Vanacek out of his net and almost did. And Vanacek had to make a sprawling recovery save from Stankoven was low right corner, bottom of the circle. You're telling me that Stanky doesn't want to take that goal, even if it was 9-3, he'd count that for sure.
Yeah. It's 2 guys that would welcome a goal on their stat sheet. Hey, I will say, you mentioned it before. How about Maverick Bork lately? I didn't really comment on that when you said it, but because we went to break, but I think he had 7 points in like his first 33, 34 games, and he's got 9 in his last like 15, 16 games. He's got a bunch of goals in I think 6 of his 8 goals have come since January 7th or something crazy like that, almost basically a month. I think we heard so much about Bork, and people were frustrated and kind of freaking out that he was not going to be as good as he was. We're seeing it now. It took a little bit of time, but we're seeing what he's capable of now.
He's realizing that once he gets to the offensive blue line, especially when he doesn't have the puck, he's on his horse and he's going to the net.
Yeah.
And and it's the same thing that Robo did. Robo his timing was a little bit better on that one that went D to D, and then he takes that angle. Again, you guys probably remember talking about this. As soon as Robos went in and on air, they had the trail, right? And it reminded me of Dennis Rodman in a documentary I saw about him, about how he rebounds and how he would rebound. He would always look at the trajectory of the ball going up and where it was coming from, and he kind of had an idea. It reminds me of Robo. I mean, that's not just luck that Robo's in that spot at that time. He gets the timing. He makes sure he's not past it. He's not too far. He's not too far away. All the things that he wasn't doing in the first 10, 15 games of the season, he's got his timing down on those plays now.
One of the things I wanted to bring up was something that I was talking to you guys about a couple of weeks ago, and it was toward the end of January. Casey DeSmith, I said he had not won a game when he had given up 3 goals or more in a contest. Well, he's done it twice in a row now and won both. And the topic was not getting enough run support. So before the Columbus win, which was this past weekend, so they won that one 5-3. They win tonight 8-3. Before that, the Stars had averaged 2.69 goals for in games that Casey DeSmith has started. Meanwhile, and they were a +1, 35 goals for, 34 against. In the first 37 starts of Jake Ottinger's time, he played a couple games since then, they were +35 and averaging 3.35. So almost a full goal per game more on starts for Jake. And think about that, +35 versus +1. Now, granted, Casey was playing in games where second night of a back-to-back, bad travel, guys tired, don't always have their full legs, not getting all the best starts. But in the last 2 games, the Stars have scored 13 goals and they've given up 6. I think that's an improvement for the backup goalie.
I think it'd be an improvement for any goalie. I think of the guy that's the best goalie on the planet right now, and Connor Hellebuck. And as good as he is, think of the run support he gets.
Yeah.
And for a goaltender, knowing that your team is going to get 2, 3, 4 goals, you let an early goal go in, you're like, all right, I got to buckle down here, but I've got, confidence that my guys in front of me are going to score goals. And I just think there's less, the pressure isn't the same, because that generally. And so, I think for Casey, knowing that, the guys are starting to score now the way that before he came here, you heard all about this team, how many goals they scored. And then he got in the net early on and like, well, where the hell are all these goals? So now all of a sudden he's getting it. And I think he just kind of relaxed a little bit more.
Oh, the chat's wired up, guys. We've got 5 super chats. We've got a huge super chat from Canada. You might be able to guess where that's from. We'll get to all of that. Jeff, who we were just talking about, the Dumbo slap shot and the unwritten rules, has a response. Maybe we'll get to that. Super chats. Stars post-game show after dark here on DLS continues next.
Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Our products are designed with the highest quality materials and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions. Whether you're on land or water, Rugged Road gear is built to accompany you on every adventure. One of the most unique features of Rugged Road is that ability to always float upright. Crafted to handle the toughest environments, their coolers are built to last, ensuring they can keep up with any adventure. Their coolers are guaranteed to keep their contents cool for up to 7 days. Perfect for a variety of outdoor activities from fishing and tubing to camping and tailgating, these coolers are designed to meet the needs of every outdoor sports enthusiast. So, gear up for your next adventure with Rugged Road coolers, reliable, durable, and built to be used. Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head to ruggedroadoutdoors.com and use code DLLS for 10% off.
I have a read to do about Saturday Neon, but I'm laughing about a chat because they just said Sam's nickname for his toilet is Rugged Road, and I'm dying. All right, let's talk about Saturday Neon. It was started by two college friends, buddies. Saturday Neon makes officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs, perfect for your home office, dorm room, fan cave, she shed, bar, you name it. Check out their new Essentials collection featuring almost 50 of the biggest schools across the country and counting for only $75. Check out Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State signs. Unlike traditional neon, these LED signs won't break or shatter, but still give you that classic uniform glow that you know and love. LEDs last up to 100,000 hours, so you'll be enjoying your sign for years to come. Super easy to install using the provided hardware or with 3M command strips. Low voltage, they don't get hot, always safe to the touch. Perfect gift for any season, let alone the upcoming season, which is, of course, my least favorite fake holiday of all the fake holidays. Head over to SaturdayNeon.com. Use the code DLLS for 10% off your favorite sign. All right, guys. It's Super Chat time. Oh, the toilet humor never gets old. But let's go back to Super Chats. And John, flex those fingers. It's time for a bing bong.
Bing bong.
We go with the start, and it begins tonight with I Love Misty, 1985, a little Pavelski, ding, and Ludwig. Well,
Bing bong.
There we go. Well, that was a fun one. We would
Sorry.
never would have imagined after the first 3 games, first 3 minutes. What are you doing over there, Sam?
This John comes on the screen and it changes all of our cameras
You're
around.
just moving all over the place.
Freaking me out.
But we're having okay, where's the ball? It's the little high to the cup. But the Sharks defense went to work. Well, the save got stronger. Sad Duchene couldn't get the Hattie again, though. That's 2 games in a row. He's been stuck on 2. But a 3-point night, I don't think Matt Duchene will be all that disappointed.
Excellent to save drop in there. That's excellent.
And stronger.
Yes.
Hey, Luds, Pete Blackburn, who hosts the All City National show, that was a delayed drop for Sam. He made a post on Twitter earlier that said that he goes, when did Matt Duchene have the spaceman visor? He needs to keep that forever.
I bet you he will if he keeps scoring 2 goals a game.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
he's probably fine now at this point. He's had it for a while. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm just not going to take it off.
This is what Matt Duchene rolled up. Look at that with the pirate ship.
Love the SpongeBob tonight.
Nice. I actually heard Duchene. I think I told you guys this on the ticket last week, saying that he was going to wear that bigger visor for a month because he broke his nose and he wants to give it proper time to heal before going back to the regular visor. But like Lud said, if he starts popping in a couple of goals a night, 3-point games, might just keep it.
Put on the bubble.
Yeah, go full shield.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the next one. By the way, John is sending us stuff in the group text. Well, we try to do this. Let's go to T Farmer. A little Stankoven and Labushkin. Weird hockey, fun hockey. Why can't Logan score? He's so cursed. I blame Celebrini.
I wonder if he keeps going. He's probably thinking of that every night that he goes to bed. Why can't I score? He's getting the opportunities. He's not trying to do any more, any less. You know what? Maybe, the good news is right about now, maybe he starts scoring with about 5 to 10 games to go in the regular season here. And then he just kind of carries it right into playoffs.
Before we get to our next super chat, good spot by our producer, John. Boy, he's on top of it. That week in New Orleans has not messed with his form. Guys, Lian Bichsel has been loaned to the Texas Stars, and I immediately think two things. One, maybe a little cap savings. I don't know if that counts during the Four Nations break or not, but he can go down and play games instead of go on vacation for 2 weeks, Luds. They want him playing hockey games.
Of course. It's nothing to do with anything else but that. Go down, and you know what? He should be happy to go there because he's coming along. He's becoming more consistent in his game, and everything that they're doing with him is paying off.
Would you, knowing how you do about Jim Nill, that he probably would have told Lian beforehand, this is what we're going to do during the break, so it's not a surprise to him?
Of course. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Ardell with
Bing
a
bong.
Oscar Beck and Matt Duchene super chat. Welcome home, producer John. The Dallas Stars need a placker to clean the shark meat from between their teeth. Luds believed that we were going to crush these guys. He wasn't wrong.
I believe that they are going to crush these guys tonight.
You guys want to translate the placker?
The placker?
You mean like
yeah, it's like a picking your teeth, I think, right?
I don't think I've ever heard the
Yeah,
phrase
we can tell.
placker
We can
before.
tell
Better
you
not be eating shark meat. Better not be eating shark meat over there, Mr. Ardell.
Why is that,
Coming
Sam?
I have some information
Coming at
on
you,
this.
man.
Oh,
So-
John
so
weighing in.
Placker. I never know which way to go on this. Placker is
I know,
it's
me
like
too.
it's like the brand is also called Placker, like how Tupperware has sort of become. Everyone says Tupperware, but it's literally like it's patented called Tupperware. The dude's name was Tupper. I don't know if there was a dude named Placker, but Placker is actually like what the thing's called.
What is it?
Anyways, this has been Teeth Talk.
Is this a toothpick or a floss pick?
I need
I
one
think,
right now.
I think it's a floss pick.
A floss pick. Okay. There you go. Luds, we learned something tonight.
I didn't
Sam?
learn. I know what Sam are. I know what they are. I bet you Sam knows what they are also.
There you go. Sam, what are you doing? Are you doing your favorite rodent face?
I don't
Oh,
know.
he's showing you. He's
It's-
showing you.
I'm showing you I could use some.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't been in the dentist in a couple of years.
Well, let's go to our next super
Bing
chat
bong.
from Talk Hockey with Me. Jordan writes in, oh, wait, it's a Bichsel and a Hintz. What a great way to head into the break. I hope everyone comes back healthier and well rested. Can't wait for a great season finish. Go Stars. There's two parts to this. First, Ilya Lyubushkin did not play the last two games. It's mysterious because we saw him hurry off the bench as if he had some sort of IBS problem, and then he didn't play yesterday or today. I would think, guys, that after a 2-week break, a week off plus a couple of practice days, he's probably going to be okay, but fingers crossed here.
Yeah, I'm going to stalk his Instagram during the break, see how active he's being, see if that gives us any tell. No, I think he's fine.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think Jim Nill said it. Just give him these 2 days, whatever it was. Mystery. We're getting a lot of mysteries, which is not a good thing since it's our only midway 2/3 through the season. So the playoffs are going to be. They're not going to give us any information. I can feel it.
Bing bong.
Hold on, before we go to that one, not quite yet, but you get an extra
Bing
bing bong
bong.
out of it. Yep, and another one. Jordan's
bong.
other point here, Luds, is can't wait for a great season finish. Remember how we were talking about the dog days? Are we going to see the players come back from the break fired up for the stretch run, or is it still going to be those couple weeks before the trade deadline before that intensity really picks up?
I expect them to be re-energized. We know it's funny after the skate. Yes, our skate on Friday. A bunch of guys were sitting Eddie Belfour and Hemsky and stuff. We were talking about today's player. How dialed they are into their their nutrition, what they do off ice, and everything else like that. So, the last thing I think in today's game with these kind of athletes now is they're going on vacation for a couple of weeks. They're going to be fine when they come back. It took us a couple of weeks to get back after the couple of weeks after we took off. So, they're there, and I think that the confidence, especially that the team is starting to come back to, what everybody expected of it. So I believe that they're going to be anxious, and there's enough talk going on about a deep run in the playoffs. So I got a feeling they're going to be ready to go.
The one thing that I want to see is that because you're right. They'll probably continue their exercise regimen, maybe take a couple days off, but they will break a sweat. They're not going to come back out of shape. They'll keep their nutrition up for the most part. They might indulge a little bit, but I want to see them use a liberal amount of sunscreen, because a bunch of these guys that have been playing indoor hockey for 55 games and then they go to the beach, Luds, we're going to see some sunburns and peeling skin pretty quickly, aren't we?
Yeah, well,
we're not the most sunburn on this team.
They're gonna shed and regrow by the time we see them again. They're gonna be fine.
All right, we've got a big super chat that we've got to get to. So, John, bing bong as many times as you need to.
Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong.
I can't even hear it. I don't know why, but
we've got a big one. Alley Dally, $139.99 Canadian, and so I did the conversion rate.
97 something, right?
It's McDavid and Sagan. It's 97.91 US, which unfortunately, if we use the US dollar rate, is not the record that we've had here on the DLS Dallas Stars show. But I don't want to take anything away from Allie, who just spent very good money to say, I have nothing good to say because I couldn't watch the game, but I just wanted to beat the Mavs super chat. Oh, look at that, Allie. Blame it on the wine. What's it say on the sleeve? Nope, the other sleeve. Your other right. I love Hot Sam.
We got to get Allie one of these, eh?
I mean, why can't it be
Let's
that one?
Tell your boy. It could be. This is for Katie, but it could be this one.
Hey, you tell him he's watching. I guarantee Andrew and Springer are watching right now.
All right.
And Allie's probably watching right now. So have at it, Sam.
Let's do it. I love the spelling in here. I want to know.
I can't believe we didn't get an update on her date. Wasn't she on a date last night when she was?
I actually have a picture that she sent in the Discord, and I didn't send it to John because I thought we might use it for one of our weekday shows next week. But she was right, Luds. She sent us a receipt. It was proof that she was sitting at a table with a drink with us on her phone on the date. Now, you couldn't see the other side of the table. It was just the tabletop. But, yep, she was doing it. At the bar, at the restaurant, watching the DLS Stars pregame show. That is a diehard. If I've ever seen it.
We appreciate it.
I was looking through the chat just now because I had it focused just on the super chats, and there were some great ones tonight. I wanted to go back to Jeff if I can find him. Who knows how many we've seen since then. There it is. Oh, he's been arguing with people in the chat quite a bit. He said, I get, Luds, this was in reference to our beer league unwritten rule about don't take a slap shot with a 5-goal lead with a minute to go. He says, I get this is the NHL, and I'm not trying to be a Dumba hater, but the league does have unwritten rules. We saw one tonight. After Jamie scored his late goal, he literally did nothing. No celly, nothing. But I don't think that's really a good barometer because Jamie rarely does a big celebration, does he?
Well, I don't know what that has to do with taking a 90-mile-an-hour slap shot either.
Unwritten rules is what he's trying to argue.
Has anybody watched that grade 8 dude over in Washington? How he's whipping them right now, and you know, like you don't care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care how much time is left or what the score is.
By the way, GM Benn responded by saying, "I would have rode my stick like a horse if I scored that 8th goal."
That's a bad visual too,
isn't it? Though. John is going to make me vomit with the camera movement. That was that. Yeah, doing that again.
We got another.
We got another super chat.
SC.
Hold on, I'm not done messing with Ben yet.
You got to try to make him dizzy first.
I'm no longer looking at the screen. It's Barf City.
Okay, now let me navigate the 90 menus on this thing.
Bing
try to
bong.
Find the correct buttons.
Oh, we got another one here.
Big one.
Oh, goodness.
It's from I Love Misty. It was a 103 cents, which I believe is 97 cents shy of the record. I think our record is 101. There once was a gentleman named Crapper. He was known for taking some slappers. His inventions were glam for us to make fun of Sam and allow us to watch the Stars all dapper.
Hey, for $100, you can say whatever the hell you want about me.
I love it. We've got Stars After Dark poetry. You want more? Keep it coming. We will do more next here. Stars After Dark on the post-game show on
Can't handle
DLLS.
the truth.
Let's talk about being a diehard for a second, because as much as it's fun to be in the chat and be part of the Discord if you have it, look at Luds. Luds is in my screen pointing to the QR code. Sam
So is Sam.
pointing to his shoulders or maybe his biceps. Maybe he's
No,
trying to
I'm
make Allie
covering
feel.
both.
Oh, we have more super chats coming in. Guys, they don't want us to go home tonight. Use the QR code on the screen.
We
Go
are
to the
home.
website, alldlls.com. I know we are home already. You can sign up to be a diehard today. I don't know if our GM wants us to give the actual number, but he sent a company-wide Slack, which, of course, Luddy didn't see, saying that we have a very high number already, much higher than the projected expected diehards at this point of our very young company history, right? DLS isn't even a year old yet, and we are already growing big time. We went to the I went to the COSM event, the first ever DLS watch along, when they showed the Mavericks at the Boston Celtics on Thursday. We don't know for sure, but we are really bugging our general manager to hook up a DLS Stars watch along at COSM sometime in the next month or two. And we'll see if we have any news on that front, because we're trying our best. But I'll tell you one thing. Benn was an incredibly generous host. He was, there we go, 100+ new diehards this week. That's the number I wasn't sure he wanted to share. Think about that. 100+ new diehards for DLS this week. And he was buying appetizers for different diehards at COSM. He was a very generous host. We had a lot of fun, and I can't wait, because I think we're going to do this, to get Luds and Sam and John, myself, and some of you crazy diehards and Ben to watch a Stars game at that domed, almost like an IMAX theater at COSM. It looks like the basketball game was fun, but I think it's made for something like hockey. Really do.
Mozzarella sticks.
There's some of that money for Uber's home.
Well, yes, but also these super chats are going to help. Guess what?
I'm going to have a tequila soda, so I need a ride, eh?
Oh,
You're gonna have a tequila, so you're gonna need an ambulance.
Well, we had
Yeah,
two
I'm gonna need a
really
couple days
ridiculous
off.
super chats, but we do have another one.
Bing bong.
William W. Williams, aka Dubs, with a little Haskinen 99 cup here. So when do we find out if there are any changes to the Four Nations rosters? Does Robo still have a chance? Well, we found out tonight, the LA Kings made it official. Drew Doughty will be replacing Alex Pietrangelo on Team Canada. Luds, it felt like the worst kept secret in the last week or so.
Yeah, I think that was as soon as he announced he was coming back to play, it was all because of that. He was going to go to Four Nations. One I was a little bit surprised about today. There's a couple forwards that are iffy, and it's for Team Canada, and I was surprised that their first. Well, not surprised, but I was hoping I would hear Wyatt's name, but it was Mark Scheifele. So it sounds like Scheifele will be the guy for Canada. So I was hoping that Pete put in his 2 cents, and guess it didn't go too far to bring in Wyatt.
Yeah, they do have till Monday, by the way, day before the tournament, to make the final. Most teams want to have it by Sunday, which is tomorrow.
A couple of people are saying in the chat, Sam, that they have until Tuesday.
I think that's
to make
today,
these
Sam.
changes.
I'm not sure, but it's probably today.
Oh wait, is the tournament Wednesday or Tuesday?
First game is Wednesday, Canada
Yeah,
versus Sweden.
Then yes, that makes sense. I was just saying the day before. I thought for some reason I thought it was Tuesday, but the day before it starts, and I know they practice Monday and Tuesday, so I think most teams want to have that team by the time they start practicing.
Jordan just said in the chat, Sam, how did you type the words, quote, pop up potty and keep a straight face?
I'm a pro.
Boy, that's an understatement. Brandon Ernest says, I don't know how long Dumba will have that bubble on. It's an interesting thing because both he and Marchman have it. Obviously, Marchman just came back, not even a week ago, I think it was. Wasn't it Vancouver?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was a week. And so, I don't know how long Dumba will have that bubble on. It's an interesting thing because both he and Marchman have it. Obviously, Marchman just came back, a week ago, I think it was. Wasn't it Vancouver? Maybe it was a week. And so you can understand he's probably going to have it for a while until things are healed enough so that you're not worried about another impact around the face area. Dumba's had his for over a month now, hasn't he?
Yeah, a while. Yeah.
They might be mandated, by the doctors saying, listen, if you're going to come back and play, the bone's not, or whatever it may be, isn't completely healed and it's take X amount of time. And so if you're going to play, you're going to keep it on until this particular date.
GM Ben wants to know if we're going to do a Four Nations post-game show for the championship game.
No.
Well, apparently Sam's not.
Hold on. Producer chiming in. Yes, you are.
We are?
I mean, it is the championship game, right?
I bet US or Finland better be in it then.
We're
It's gonna be
doing
a
a
boring
post-game
post-game show.
We're doing a post-game show or a show?
A post
Or a
game.
run
like
on?
Well,
Huh?
when we have the daytime shows, all during the tournament, Luds, you're gonna be talking about the games anyway. But championship, yes. Be ready.
What if it's Sweden, Canada? Can we opt out since
Then
there are no
a million
stars in it?
Canadians are going to be watching the game, and we have a former Canadians defenseman on the show,
Barf.
and they'll tune in to hear. Although he's way down here.
Canada is going to be bad in this tournament.
There's my Luds impression tonight.
Well, then move this green streak across
We
the
can't
bottom.
do that. That is company branding. That'll always be there.
Well,
right,
just
John?
Drop it down a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's above my pay grade, Luds. If you would like to call the people in Denver and tell them that you don't like their art, then go for it.
It's
It won't end well for
12:40.
you.
It's 12:40 in the morning. I'm gonna lean back on my couch a little bit.
Speaking of 12:40, there are like over 100 people in here right now, and it's almost 1:00 in the morning. That's amazing.
Yeah,
you guys are crazy. Hey, did you guys?
There you
see,
go, GM Ben. No daytime show the day of championship game, just post game. Do we?
All
so
right.
Are we not doing a pregame show then? Just a post game show, Ben?
Just post
Why are
game.
you asking to do a pregame show, Owen?
I'm not asking. I don't want to. If we don't have to.
I just heard him say we aren't
Oh, it's
doing
at 8:00 Eastern time too. God, bedtime. Hey,
7
did
o'clock,
you?
Sam. 7
We're just
o'clock.
talking about
Central.
Hey,
Bing
I
bong.
said Eastern. I'm going to be in New Jersey for the.
Yeah, that's
Devils
your
game.
personal choice. We have another
Nope,
super chat.
I'm working that weekend, y'alls.
William
Not my
W.
choice.
Williams, Dubs, a little DeSmith 99. Is Dumba's game affected by the fishbowl?
He told us it is very little, just when he looks down at the puck in his feet, which is a very common theme when players wear that. So I don't think he has the puck enough to have that affect his game. I'm serious. He doesn't carry the puck very much, so the only time it would is if when he's in the slot tied up with a forward or something, and the puck's kind of underneath him. Then it might be tough to see it.
I
And
do
find
think
it.
it's affecting his timing when he's stepping up to hit people. It's
I
kind
would
of
think
throwing
that, right?
his equilibrium off a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it's acting like he's wearing a pair of glasses. It's just changing his focal point a little bit so he can't see him.
Is that
real
why
well.
I'm so bad at hockey?
His vision is distorted.
Jeff just wrote, ha ha, or he wrote, not that was T Farmer, ha, Dumba. He doesn't look at the puck ever. Jeff Rose, Luds is tired of Dumba questions.
Hey, well, let's switch to Marchment then. We were talking about bubbles. Did you guys see Marchment with a little chuckle and a few words to Goudreau after Goudreau took the puck to the face? Marchment went over to him before the face-off and said a few things to him, and then they were both laughing and smiling on the thing.
See
which I
that
thought
right
was
there?
hilarious.
Not sure yet, but just post game, I think. There's your
Heck
answer,
yeah.
fellas.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I did see that during the game. He kind of had a little chuckle boy, I feel your pain.
Yeah, I
Fortunately for
thought that was
Goudreau,
funny.
it wasn't nearly as bad because there wasn't, blood pouring all over the place, and it didn't look like he broke anything.
Yeah.
We have a few more minutes left as the chat keeps firing along, and we'll keep going to you guys. So if you want to be increasingly silly, please do it because
Well,
we're here.
Let's confirm. We don't know what happened to Dumba. I see a bunch of people asking. We have asked multiple times. We still have gotten zero information on what happened to Matt Dumba. So
there's a burn.
That is the situation as officially as it is.
I wanted to, I did reach out to Stars PR before our pregame show tonight, and they didn't get back to me until I think we were almost done with the pregame show, and I didn't see it till after we logged off. Sam Steele took the warm-up tonight, so it wasn't an injured scratch. It was presumably a healthy scratch. He hasn't missed a game as a healthy scratch since last year in the beginning of the 23-24 season when he was the odd guy out until they realized what they had with Sam Steele. And then he wasn't healthy, scratched again the rest of that season or into this year.
And Pete wouldn't have said he's out. You know, if he was going out there and they have someone, maybe someone's going through something and was a decision, Pete would have said we have game time decisions. He wouldn't have called him out. So it's just really weird to be like Brendan Smith does that sometimes at home, but very rarely do the guys go out and skate in warm up. I think on the road, it's just a kind of an odd situation.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I feel like there are a lot of times where they'll skate an extra player or two in the warm up LUDs.
Yeah, but if they're doing that, usually it's because there's somebody that's kind of iffy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't find it. I don't find anything odd about it. I mean, again, I think there's 3-4 guys here that can be in and out of the lineup at any moment, and it doesn't mean that they're playing poorly. It's that they want to get guys into as close as of the rhythm as they can when you're only dressing 12 forwards. So
Luds, I'm curious your thought on this, because Smith does it a lot, and he's known when he's a scratch. This was back when he was a scratch for most of the games at the time. What's the benefit of that? Is it just to be a part of the team, go out, touch some pucks and get skating, or what's the benefit for the player to go skate in a warm up and then be a scratch?
Well, I don't think there is a benefit. I don't think there's a benefit at all. I just think that there's times when they're really not sure, and there may be somebody on the other team, like especially for Brendan. Again, Brendan is, not a heavyweight. I'm not saying that, but there may be somebody on the other side, and they're not sure if he's in the lineup or not. And so if that guy's in, somebody's out, they're like, you know what? If he's going to run around a little bit, then, it's nice to have that kind of player in there that's not afraid to go and, call him out.
The thing about the Steele scratch for me is actually not so much about Sam Steele, but it's more about the guys that didn't get scratched. Because if you think about early this season, you're talking about the obvious guys. Blackwell was in and out. Maverick Bork was in and out. Oscar Beck was easily in and out. And they didn't scratch 2 rookies. Instead, they scratched a guy with more experience. And I think that actually says a lot more. As Letty said, it's not really an indictment of Sam Steele's game. He's fine. Yeah. He does what he's expected to do. But it really is a testament to the way that Bork has played well lately. And Oscar Beck continues to show that the coaching staff really values him in the lineup.
Has Beck missed a game since didn't he sign a 2-year contract here a couple months ago?
That's a good question. Yeah. Let me look at that.
I don't recall him being out of the lineup since he scored.
I don't believe so. Yeah, we can double check.
I have it right in front of me. The last time he was scratched from a game was November the 9th, or excuse me, November the 11th, that game at Pittsburgh. So we're talking about basically 3 months of hockey where he's been in the lineup every single night.
Mm-hmm.
And he signed, wasn't it within the last month or so?
Yeah, it was January 2nd. I thought it was when my car broke down on the highway. That's why I remember what day that was.
Because he doesn't know how to change the tire.
Yeah, learning though, Luds. I'm learning. I'm watching videos. I need you to teach me.
Allie just wrote, and remember, Allie gave us a very generous Canadian here. Actually, hold that thought for just a second. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, by the way, to our producer, John, for being on top of it. Thanks to everyone who joined on our television platforms. Make sure to like and subscribe here on the pod and check out alldlls.com. Perfect. So I was mentioning Allie, who gave us a very generous $139.99 Canadian super chat earlier tonight. Allie just put in the chat, I have no idea what is happening in postgame because I can't have the sound on. Meeting the new boyfriend's sister and her husband, but open the postgame anyway to have it open. And she said earlier she had it on just to increase our viewership by 1. So
I have a shirt you can wear when you meet them.
What do you guys think the impression is of watching us with the sound off?
I can't be good. It's no better than watching it with the sound on. That's for sure.
I was gonna say why.
Just to look at Luz, that glorious hair.
Oh, here comes John.
Well, now she can't hear all the drops if she has the sound off.
That's
I can't
true.
hear him either, so it's all right.
You can't hear the toilet flush?
No, I don't know why.
because
Oh, you're
I
almost
can't hear any of the drops.
it has been played almost every time you've spoken tonight. So
Perfect. So I'm
I
happy that I
can't
can't
wait
hear
for
any of that stuff.
the reels that John cuts with you and toilet sound, because they will be numerous.
I should have noted that. It would have been easier to make a compilation of just all the times the toilet drop went off, but fortunately it didn't happen. Allie, if you want to do us like an extra solid,
bummer.
although you don't have the sound on, so you can't hear what I'm about to say, so I'll have to comment it
Type
and
it.
post it on the screen. But you also need to have those people take out their phones and put
Like,
Put-
subscribe,
like it,
watch,
yeah,
subscribe,
you
put
gotta
that
like
out,
it.
super chat, become
crank those
diehards,
numbers up. That's
Yeah,
right.
you're
steal their
always
credit cards,
solicited.
send them to
Hey,
Lud.
Luds, because I know you're about to nod off of the 2 hours a night of sleep you get. GM Ben just said, watching y'all on mute is my preferred viewing experience.
That's how I usually watch our DLS meetings too.
Okay, I have a serious question, and then we will wrap this up unless we start getting ridiculous super chats. We talk about the break. We talk about the rest, the recovery. What does this do for them physically and mentally after playing 55 games, condensed, a trip to Finland, playing every other day? This, I mean, they're going to do it when they come back. There we go, Finland. Sam didn't even hear that. That's why he doesn't flinch. Everybody wonders why, because you didn't hear the SpongeBob Finland drop just now. I'm looking at the calendar, and after the Four Nations is over, they'll play a whole mess of games with almost no break, and then they'll have a weird 4-day gap in the second full week of March, and then it's another basically sprint to the finish.
Yeah.
But what will this 2-week break do for them physically and mentally?
80% of this game is played from the neck up. That's what it does. You're able to clear your mind because you know that this length is something different than having 2-3 days off, or even the All-Star break where they get 2 or 3 days off. This is totally different. This is where the guys that want to go have a little bit of fun, they can do that, but then they've got enough time to recover and then get back to the first practice and be normal, where you're not using the practice to get normal. So this is important because of the schedule, the travel, everything that goes into it in this compressed part of the year. And they'll be ready to go, the thing about coming back, and you have, what will they have, 25, 26 games, somewhere in that neighborhood when they come back, that's the best time of the year, especially for teams that, are fairly certain they're going to be in the playoffs, because now I think the coaches feel that they have the players' ears a little bit more. They may be trying to work on a few things that may be slipping out of their game or something they can prop up a little bit. The details of forecheck, back check, all the little things that happen. And they feel that they'll have the players' ears a little bit more because they're going to be in the playoffs and they're excited to get into the playoffs and they're getting their game rounded out to be ready for game 83.
What's interesting, Luds, too, is it better than we do, but just from my end, seeing all the stuff outside of games and actual on ice stuff that the players go through. I mean, coming to the rink as often as they have to, going through all the meetings, it's just got to you get to the dog days. It's not just because you're playing a lot of games. It's because you're just doing the same things over and over, or you're either traveling like crazy or you're at the rink early and then you're back there again the next day. And it just feels like you just need that time to, just like you said, step away. And if I need it from my end, then the players certainly need it on their end.
Well, you need to decompress, and you kind of all athletes, I think, they get into this certain rhythm and you're in that mode, and sometimes you're just going through the motions because it's what you do. And you need to kind of clear your head and your mind and spend some time with your family that's wanting to do, or go off with your buddies for 4 or 5 days to wherever you're going, and like I said, you're coming back at the time of the year, when you're excited. When you get past 30 and you get into the 20s, you're every day you're coming, playoffs right around the corner, let's go, let's get ready, let's get healthy. Do a little extra after practice, work on wherever you have to work on, because this is the most important time before the real important time, so that you get mentally prepared more so than anything.
We have 2 more super chats rolling in.
Let's do it.
Bing bong.
There it is. We have Talk Hockey with Me. aka Jordan, do you think Otter
No.
not getting a break is negative?
No, I think Otter's going to get a break anyways. I mean, I mean, again, I don't know what the schedule, what you guys think it is, but I'm thinking Hellebuck is probably running with a lot of this as he's right. I mean, so
I would imagine Jake plays one
Well,
game.
think about this.
Unless they need him, and
So the
gets in.
U.S. plays Finland on Thursday, February 13th. Okay, that's the second game because Canada-Sweden opens on Wednesday. All 4 teams play Saturday, which is the second round of the 3-game round robin. U.S. will play
Doubleheader
Canada.
Saturday, Monday. I love that.
Yep, Saturday the 15th, Finland-Sweden, which obviously is a huge regional rivalry, and then USA Canada, and then on Monday
Slaughter.
the 17th, you've got Sweden and the U.S. and Canada Finland, and then Thursday February 20th is the championship game. So at most, the United States or any of the teams would play 4 games over a 2-week period, which based on the NHL schedule, that's not that bad. And Luddy, I honestly think that unless the U.S. wins their first 2, if they beat
third game
Finland and Canada, then maybe Jake gets the 3rd game. But this is a short tournament. You cannot really just hand out starts for fun. You need to go to win those games with your best guy. And I think that's Connor Hellebuck right now.
Oh, there's no question that everybody feels that way. It'd just be interesting if he doesn't win his first game.
Yeah, that might be.
I don't know if they throw Ottinger in against Canada though. It'd be one thing if it was for Finland then Sweden. Maybe Jake goes in, but I would doubt it. They put unless he's awful or gets injured. I would doubt Jake goes in. But to
I'm going to knock on wood for Hellebuck because I don't want him to get injured.
No,
either.
nobody gets. I hope nobody gets injured in this tournament. But the one other thing too is what you said. The short tournament. Not only is it short, but you don't get a playoff. So it's not like, okay, let's play these 3 and give one away if you want to call it that, and then we'll get them back in the semifinal final. It's the best out of the round robin. So you don't get another shot if you lose that game. Yeah.
We have
Plus,
another.
He's going to learn some things. He's going to learn some things there.
Bing bang.
He's going to pick up some things from the elite talent he's playing with.
William W. Williams, Dubs, a little Haskin and 99 Cup here. Okay, last dumb question. I think he meant Dumba. Maybe he didn't. If Dumba has that Pavelski hit against McKinnon, McDavid, Eichel in the playoffs, is he worth the cap hit all of a sudden?
If it's legal.
Again, the game's the game, and I'm not gonna. We wouldn't be talking about this if we weren't sitting in Dallas and it was Joe Pavelski. The one thing about it is if say Dumbo
can't hear the ding.
Dumbo could be the first guy when we play Vegas that takes out Mark Stone. So does that mean that everybody's opinion is going to change then?
I wouldn't think so, but you never know. People are fickle that way.
Yeah.
By the way,
hey, if it wins you a series, changes a lot of things.
Our boss has jokes in the chat. He said we should do a pre/post for all Sweden games.
What is that, like 4 a.m.?
Wait, Sam, did you hear that laugh, or are you just laughing in the void?
No, I'm just laughing in general. I was just thinking of Lud's trying to take out Jason Arnott in 2000.
Russell asked us if we can get Tyler Seguin on the show. That's an interesting one because I'd love to have Seguin. He'd be great on our show. Typically, it would have to be on Sagan's own accord because typically when players on IR, they're not available, and PR won't make them available to the media. But if Tyler Seguin wants to do his own thing, Luddy, I know you have your ways, so
yeah, we could annoy him.
I have a feeling
Tyler's a new daddy. I think he's got a good
trip.
Honestly, the question I want to know is how did Tyler convince his wife to let him, with a newborn, go on a 3-game California road trip to meet the new guys? I get it, but to get a break, I mean, that's impressive. All right. I think it's time to wrap up tonight. It is almost 1 a.m., and I think we've said everything we need to say about this one. Stars will not play again until after the Four Nations break, which I believe is the 22nd of February, Saturday the 22nd, at the New Jersey Devils. And Sam, it looks like it's an early game for us, a 5 o'clock Central Time. You said you're going to be there, so
I'll be at
6
both of
o'clock
those that weekend
in Newark, and then the next night they play a 6:30 Central Time game against the Islanders. Boy, Luddy, I don't know. Did you hear about the Matthew Barzal injury? That he's going to be out for a significant amount of time. All of a sudden, the Islanders starting to look like they're in a little shaky business.
Brock Nelson, a little shaky business all year long. It's kind of teetering. I can't help but keep looking at that score up there and think of Alashemsky.
83. Yes.
He actually, Hemmer was out there yesterday, and every time I see that 83 up there, I keep thinking of Hemmer.
And you said he doesn't necessarily skate all that often with the alumni.
He made it for about no, he said he's actually wants to come out and help us with our U18 team. Yeah.
Talk about the stick handling wizard. He had that really short stick, but boy, he could maneuver in a phone booth with that thing.
Yeah, it was interesting. We had the panel and we had the alumni thing. So we had Hemmer on the panel, and I was talking to him, and I had a question for him. Remember the goal, the Patrick Steffen goal, right? So that goal that, they ultimately lost, the Edmonton lost in overtime. But what that 1 point did that they picked up from that game is it moved them out of last place when it comes to the draft. You know who went first overall that year? Patrick Kane.
Come on.
Yep. That goal that Hemmer scored that got them to OT was that extra point, and they missed out on that.
That's hilarious. See? Patrick Steffen knew it. He said, screw you guys.
So that draft year was 2007. And I'm just looking, I have to pull this up real quick. Those are all the trades. So the second overall pick was James Van Riemsdyk from the Flyers. The Oilers dropped all the way to 6th, Luds, and they took Sam Gagner, who's had a heck of a career.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, you always talk about this. Don't relitigate the draft because obviously things are different. Jake Voracek went 7th to the Blue Jackets. I wonder if they would have liked to have him or Logan Couture after that.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of those.
Hey, Natalie, I saw your comment about Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson is probably most likely not getting traded from the Islanders. I think it would be stupid if they got rid of their 3 core pieces to build off of there. Otherwise, that franchise is going to be done for the next 20 years. So I don't think he's going to be traded anywhere, but it's a good player. I'll take him.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing for me. Guess who won again today? The Jets. They've won 8 in a row. They have 81 points, which is the highest point total in the NHL, although they have played 2 more games than the 79-point Washington Capitals. But with the win tonight, Dallas ties Edmonton. Vegas won, but they have played 1 more game for the second best record in the Western Conference. And Luds, my comment is, I don't think it matters. We've talked about this before. I don't think it matters if the Stars catch Winnipeg in the standings. But if they could have the tiebreaker so that if they made it to another conference final, that they had home ice for that over the Pacific Division's best team, even if they're not the number 1 seed, that I think would be a really big advantage.
Yeah. Anytime you can hopefully if you have to go to a game 7, you have it at home. It's you'd rather be there than someplace else. The big thing is that's always said is like, if you have an opportunity to finish off someone in game 6, you throw everything into it. You don't want to play game 7 if you don't.
99 in Buffalo.
Yeah. That's what's interesting about the playoffs right now too. I was looking at this the other day. Is like this might be the perfect spot for the Stars. I mean, they get their opening round is Minnesota, which is the easiest of the bunch, right? Then they play Winnipeg, which none of them are easy, but that's the easiest of the bunch in there. Then they would go play Winnipeg, who is Winnipeg. But if you look at the other side of the bracket, Edmonton gets Colorado, and Vegas plays LA, and then those guys have to play each other. So we just get to watch. Dallas gets to beat Minnesota, maybe beat Winnipeg, and watch Edmonton, Vegas, and Colorado just beat the crap out of each other for 2 rounds. So let's
And-
finish it up right now. Cut the season here.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have 27 more games to go in the regular season. It doesn't seem like a lot. It'll go fast, but it's late, so it's time to wrap it up. Luds, Sam, John, it's been a pleasure tonight. We actually have 5 straight days of regular DLS podcast shows, daily shows next week. We have Monday through Friday, all in the afternoon, either 1 or 2 o'clock, and we will preview and get you ready for the 4 Nations. We'll have a couple guests on. These 2 yokels will be traveling a little bit, so we'll have them
Couple drinks.
remote. Every time he says that, it makes me laugh because I know it's not true.
I'm
And,
serious. It's the break, baby.
But he's rolling his eyes. And we will try to keep everything going.
Need a Miller
because
Lite.
the following week, we have a couple days off. And then we apparently have a championship game post-game show.
Yeah, post-game show.
And then, don't laugh, Sam, we do. And
I
then
know.
we have a back-to-back on the weekend, Devils and Islanders, starting a 3-game road trip to come back from said break. So, should be a lot of fun. Let's do it all again on Monday. Enjoy your Sunday and Super Bowl. Oh, wait. Who you got, Luds? Tomorrow night, big Super Bowl.
I'm going to say
We all silly like the man.